Riastrad.
Okay, so that was United States Air Force Band. That'd be a good introduction. Uh, we see there's certain things that you're supposed to do when that song plays. Stand up, hand over your heart, and it seemed a little strange for this video. So it was just an introduction. It's July 4th, and coffee takes priority over everything else. It's July 4th, and I'm going to be doing a game as Washington against England. That little pause is from me switching windows, which I need to do one more time before I actually get into this. I am just really hoping that my voice is recording on this. I've had issues with that before. I don't think I have the sound setting exactly right, but you know, it's an experiment. So go ahead and get this started. And I want to play on a Scrambled America if I can. I seem to think that there was a Scrambled America. Scrambled Canada is not quite what I had in mind. Check under... I probably should have got the map stuff all dealt with before I started. This'll work. So it's not going to let me change the map size for a dual map though. There we go. It was under Scrambled Continents. I knew I had it. So I'm going to do this on Deity. And I want it to be a quick game. For everything else, I'm going to have to go into the advanced. And game pace quick era. I want to set this in the industrial era. The random civilization is going to be England. And I want to turn off all of the other victory types except domination. This is a fight to the death. So it looks like I'm ready to go. Next turn. Okay.
Welcome, President Washington. You lead the industrious American civilization. Formed in the conflagration of revolution in the 18th century, within 100 years the young nation became embroiled in a terrible civil war that nearly tore the country apart. But it was just a few short years later, in the 20th century, that the United States reached the height of its power, emerging from the two terrible wars that
That was again
destroyed
me
so many
switching
other great
windows
nations.
for a moment.
The United States is a nation of immigrants, filled with optimism and determination.
Which I need to do
They
again
lack
really
only a
quick.
leader to help them fulfill their promise. President Washington, can you lead the American people to build a civilization that will stand the test of time?
Okay, so I shouldn't be needing to do a whole lot of that anymore. I'm very curious to know how smooth this video is going to look. Now, I'm playing this on deity level, which is the hardest difficulty, and the problem is that the AI is going to be crazy. And with no other victory type selected, that means they're going to have a lot of advantage as far as technology and military. So I'm thinking it might be best to actually settle in these mountains here, which means I'll have to take 3 turns to get started. I'm very worried about that, but I feel very strongly that a good defensive position is important. But I also would like to get this marble, which means settling another city within range of it. And here's some mountains right here, a perfect location. And that might actually be a better location for Washington. Now this is an advanced start game, which means there's a lot more to do on the first turn. And I do have to admit that both the streaming and having all this other stuff going on in the background, it is kind of pushing my computer a little harder than it's used to, so the frame rate is really, really bad right now. It's not unplayably bad, at least. It does make me wonder just where England is. Well, that's a bit of a concern. Okay. This spot would I guess, I don't know if the cursor right here. This is the spot I would really, really like to put a city in. I just don't think that's going to happen. Not safely. You know, actually I'm looking at the resources. I think I could put a city there. Maybe even put Washington there. You know, I should go ahead and attack with these Minutemen. I don't have any policies started yet, so I should take honor first, but I guess it won't let me until I actually have a city. Some iron. This looks like it's actually a really good spot. So that means now if I don't settle right away, I'm going to really be behind, and that's very dangerous in this game. I'm taking a bit of a gamble by waiting, but I feel very strongly that I need to be settled in the mountains. So it's going to take me another 2 turns before I'm actually settled. And we have met England.
We are pleased to meet you. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm already behind. I've got to settle right away. Okay, now I'm going to make a World Congress proposal. I kind of like this idea. I'm also looking at the standing army tax. It would make England angry, but since we're going to be at war for most of this time, I do a standing army tax and then choose my social policies right, I can nullify the effect of this. So it is the choice between science and standing army. I think for this round I want to do sciences first. Now in a duel like this, the World Congress's role changes quite a bit. It's no longer necessary for it to be diplomatic. A little response time lag there. And that would be England. Now this is fortunate that I start with the Minutemen, who have the rough terrain bonus and the Golden Age boost. Alright, I am not ready to settle that yet. I actually feel okay leaving them unguarded for the moment. That's a big army for England. Now, I can send Professor Rex here to London as a spy, and that's going to be a big help. So I am already falling behind. So I'm going to settle Washington this turn. Not in the site I'd originally hoped. So this phase I'm mostly scouting and establishing infrastructure. There's going to be a war very soon, I think, because it's too small a map and I'm hoping I can delay it for a while. Okay, so walls might be important, but so is a strong military. I also see that my economy is really bad at the moment. I like this idea. Okay. I wonder... Industrialization does sound very useful. Now I can look at my social policies and ideologies. Can't do an ideology yet, but honor definitely. Yeah, I've never had a good discussion about late game ideologies like this, social policies, I mean. So, I feel An economy boost would be very important at this point. So good, a city-state. So I actually could have settled this turn in the spot I intended. Okay. I'm choosing this tile because of those pearls. Alright. Now for New York. And then I need to do something much happier in the next city, probably a Circus Maximus on the city, unless Petra is available. Now let me take care of this little barbarian camp here. Now, something I don't really like about how this game is designed is that the barbarians actually can develop technology faster than me. They can have units that are surprisingly good for the fact that they don't even have a civilization. This makes it tempting to invade Hanoi. Very tempting. I just have a feeling later on that's going to be a big issue. The ranged attacks. I'm wondering if I should have turned the seam overlay off for this video. It has caused me problems in the past. That's something they do need to do something about, I think, is if you do an advanced start like this, you get faith points that you can't use. I am definitely going to have to do something about Hanoi having that particular wonder. See, that's just horrible that I settled sneak attack. That is actually very alarming. So it's a good thing I've got these cities settled up in the mountains, so there can't be too overwhelming an attack force. Well, nice thing is, London is so close right now that I won't need to be marching into enemy territory. Now I gotta do something about all this unhappiness. They have cannons. Well, it's one of those cases where their aggression actually sped up my victory. And I should be able to finish this off. This might not be as hard as I was thinking it was. Although, this bad economy is going to be a problem. The big challenge I was seeing was going to be getting to London. And I think it's going to be very easy to actually get into London. Now, I think I have explored as much as I need to be exploring right now, so I want to start drawing my troops back to Washington. That's my priority at this point. So if everything else falls, I have to secure Washington. It's my priority now to get my economy back in shape. Though having Hanoi as an ally would be very useful. So 5 turns I'll have all of this production taken care of. I don't like that position of that barbarian camp. Never had that come up before. Apparently you cannot pledge to protect someone unless you have positive influence. So I've got happiness. What I need is wealth. That's an interesting idea. That would be the most important right now. And once I've got the economy established, it's going to be churning out troops. And the next World Congress vote after the science funding passes is going to be me voting against standing armies. Well, I suppose that'll have to wait. I hate the barbarians in this game. And looks like England is going to push for the attack soon. This is very bad. So my next move is going to be to send that standing troop from over here over to Washington, where I think he'll be more useful. And I'm thinking, not only do I want a great general, but I want a citadel right outside Washington. Right where these guys are. This could have been a mistake, because if England declares war next turn. That great general is dead.
Oh, it's you. I'm listening. You cannot be
Alright,
serious.
officer.
I suppose I must. You were saying?
So I figured I would try to offer a deal to make it less enticing to invade next turn. And I don't think England is going to invade next turn. They haven't got their troops in position. So let's see if I'm going to eat those words. Great. Okay. That's perfect. So it could be next turn or the turn after. They're going straight for Washington. They're going for a quick win. Can't blame them for that. Okay. I want this guy just out of reach of York. Okay. This guy's gonna die. There's not really much way around it. Hopefully, this Minuteman here is going to be just enough to protect the Citadel. The Citadel is going to be vital to Washington's defense. So I'm going to need a bunch of Minutemen because I expect the declaration to be they might have just withdrawn because of the Citadel. If that's the case, then that's very good news for America. Alright. This buys me just a little more time to work on my local defense. And I just have to say I'm really grateful that the Minutemen can travel so fast. Now, the worst thing that could happen to me is England somehow claiming this little patch of land south of London. And the reason that would be bad is that I intend, once I've crushed a lot of England's military in a defensive war, to expand north. And if this area is claimed, it's going to be harder for my troops to get through. As it stands right now, I've got a perfect, clear shot to just send Minutemen up. And if I get aircraft to back that, it's going to be an easy conquest. So before I look up rifling, I want to get a bunch of Minutemen, which of course means improving my economy quite a bit. And I think if I expand some territory closer to Hanoi, I can set up a trade route there. I don't think I'm going to go for the natural wonder that I was looking at. Ban marble. So I figure this should be enough, because banning marble is very bad. This is going to anger England a little. So I'm thinking... Actually, I am thinking I need a road to Washington. That took some audacity to propose to ban one of my luxuries. And I succeeded in both of my votes in the Congress. Now, at this point I've got a lot of weight I can throw around on the standing army tax, and it should be something that angers England so much that they would not be likely to put all their votes on their proposal. And I don't even know what their proposal would be at this point. Probably another luxury ban or something dumb like that. Not much point to a navy in this game, but there is a point to a workboat. I don't feel like I need a cannon yet. I do feel like walls and castles are vital, though. And I do want to make sure that I have a road from New York to Washington. So after I get Washington's defense secure...
By the grace of God, your days are...
Alright. So this is not a problem. I was anticipating this. And I think my defense of Washington should be pretty good on its own. So... there is one thing I want to do, and that's put a soldier in Washington and one on the Citadel, and have this guy rest in the city. Alright. And this guy needs to come home right now. So my strength right now is going to be in defense. See, England's big mistake was waiting to attack. They gave me just enough time to build up a decent defense, and with the mountains surrounding Washington and New York, it's going to be much harder for them to get a foothold in to attack. With the defensive buildings and the Citadel all together, attacking this city is very difficult. So... let me see, what do they have? Musketmen. It's not particularly worrying yet. And one thing about the way Civilization 5 works is that you have to put the bulk of your force into your attacking army and not your defensive army when you're going to war. And as a result, if you can completely crush an invading army, you end up leaving the attacker mostly defenseless at home. So at this point, I don't feel like I need a strong offense right now. I'm going to let the English army try and break through these natural defenses that I've built up, and once their numbers are thinned out, I'll make my plans from there. I actually feel Boston is by itself pretty safe, so I'm going to have it prepare to make some more troops. And after I've finished the arsenal, I'm going to start building more Minutemen. So I'm not quite sure what's England off. Maybe they just didn't like that I proposed a standing army tax. That's what it was. Of course, this isn't how things went historically by any means. I seem to recall it being the other way around. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I feel like if I heal this Minuteman, it would be better for the country all around than using those points otherwise. But at the same time, I could have him switch places with this other guy. Which I think might actually be the better play. Now, what's their weakest unit? And I'm actually glad there's a barbarian here. So I can expect all my luxuries to get torn apart right now. But I already ordered this attack. Okay. So 2 turns until the arsenal is done, and that'll increase the... Okay, that was unexpected, and not too horrible. And I'm glad the barbarians are here right now. They're drawing the fire away from Washington. So I'm going to need to do something about these longbowmen. So I'm going to make a peace treaty with Samarkand then. There is no reason to be at war with someone if it's not going to help me. Alright. So, getting rid of these longbowmen is going to be a long-term priority, but for now, defending Washington and New York is the priority. And having the healer stationed in Washington is going to help the Citadel's defense. Meanwhile, I'm just going to be racking up experience. I wish I had a citadel at New York as well. Now I need more Minutemen to help the cause out. So it's almost been the first hour already, and the game is actually going really, really fast. I'm quite surprised. I have to decide what would be the best option here. You know, I could take the Leaning Tower and use that to get a free Great General to build a second citadel. It's, yeah, that's probably my best move then. In the meantime, the Great General is going to boost the defense strength of the units here. Now, I haven't really said this yet, but my long-term strategy for this is going to basically be that I want to attack London with a flying fortress.
Don't clap too hard, it's a very old building.
Alright, so let's have a Great General on hand. So this has so far been a very interesting war. Of course, I planned everything around the defensive strategy beforehand, and I don't know why I'm wasting this worker when I could be building a mine to boost production in New York. Meanwhile, here in Washington, I should be getting some more Minutemen ready. And I figured this is going to be their first full attack. They still have a few distractions with barbarians, but I think they're about ready to go for the full assault on Washington. I just wonder if that unit could withstand staying there another turn. And I think I am going to risk that. Now, one reason why I want to attack the most wounded units is if a unit gets one extra turn after it's near death, the chances of them healing and returning to full strength and doing more damage are just too great. It's too big of a risk. So the more units I can completely take out, the better. Because a wounded unit that heals is a wounded unit with experience. And they aren't always going to be a wounded unit if they can withdraw. It's too big of a risk to not do something about that. I'm trying to decide between three choices here. I could do the Minuteman, the Armory, or the Arsenal, and all are really good. I think that I have enough Minutemen at New York, and I think the Arsenal's going to take a long time. The Armory is only good for boosting the Minutemen, but I do need some Minutemen to take out the western flank of the English attack. So this is what my plan is for right now. And about 5 minutes, I'm going to take a short break. And I'm going to stop the video, I'm going to save the game. So far, this war is going very well. So there's been a lot of damage to the infrastructure here, but nothing too concerning. I do have concerns that I don't control the Congress anymore. I haven't checked on that, but I think city-state diplomacy by England is just too good right now. And I'm hoping the standing army tax will do something about that. So, that Minuteman survived. I was right to wait one turn. And the AI is terrible about working with citadels. I don't know why that is, but the AI cannot handle the a way to play using citadels. It just doesn't understand that you can't put a unit next to it and expect them to survive to the next turn.
Wars may be fought with weapons, but they are won.
So this will be my last turn before I save. And I want to give this guy an open terrain bonus. So much is happening on the open terrain. I'm just going to ignore those barbarians. If I'm lucky, they'll follow me out. Okay, I got someone sending me messages here. Alright, so I can take out that cannon, finally. Alright, so this guy's the guy with the experience. want to send him out. And I want this guy to help out here. I want everyone to have the medic ability. Feel very strongly about having a lot of medics around. Okay. So. I'm not getting rifling until I've got more Minutemen. So this is the last turn. I want to see what England does, and I'm going to take a break for a little bit. So it's their first actual attack on Washington. It's kind of pitiful. And this is currently the full force of England finally attacking me right now. Doesn't speak much on England's behalf either. Another cannon goes out this turn. And since the cannon seems to be what they put all their strength into, okay, the barbarians just became a problem for us. But that's just more culture. Alright, so I'm going to stop right here and pick this up in probably 5 or 10 minutes.